Education Minister Stephen Lecce joins us live now with more on this. Good morning, Minister Lecce. Thank you for joining us so early in the morning. Yesterday, CUPE members and the president, Fred Hahn, said that this was the nuclear option that you are imposing, taking away their right to collectively bargain. Can you tell us more about this 4-year collective agreement? Because CUPE members are saying that this is being imposed on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone's got to say, how about the right of a student to be in class, the right of a child to be with their educator and their friends? I mean, honestly, folks, what these kids have been through in incredible difficulty over the past 2 years, every parent knows it. Their learning loss, the social emotional distress, the mental health challenges. We have an obligation as a government to say enough is enough. These kids have to be in school. And so that's why we offered the union Sunday an option to avert a legislated option today. We said, please do not proceed with your strike on Friday, which the union decided to announce. In terms of avoiding that strike, we suggested it'd be better to take the option where we increased our offer. And to your question, we provided a 4-year deal, 2.5%, up to 2.5% over the course of that year, 10% overall, maintaining benefits, the best pension, and 131 days of sick leave. We said that we would increase our offer on Sunday in lieu for the union to withdrawing their strike. But they didn't. They insisted on the strike, and here we are today bringing forth legislation using every tool in the toolkit to deliver on the promise we made to parents, which is to keep your kids in school.
Minister, I have kids. I want them in class, no doubt about that as well. Jennifer's mother of 3 as well. You know, I understand your points about keeping kids in class. Absolutely. You know, I don't think anybody disputes that, and I understand your talking point there. But I wonder, in terms of the bargaining side of things, this does seem heavy-handed. I mean, why even bother bargaining if a government can ultimately just impose a 4-year contract on you know, whatever union it may well be here? I realize you were far apart, 11.7% versus 2% here, but I mean, it just seems to sort of gut the idea of any sort of collective bargaining. It takes the collective out of it.
You know, we would have preferred a voluntary agreement. Our preference, quite obviously, is to have got a deal that all of us could live with. That would have been the obvious preference, because the last time I went through this as Minister of Education, we got an agreement with every education union in the province by working in good faith with our partners and keeping kids at the center of our debate, of our focus. Unfortunately, when the union makes clear on Sunday that kids, 2 million in this province, will be out of class on Friday, I will not be a bystander or hope for the best or that common sense prevails at that union. We will take action. We will send a clear message that children need to be in school, that the continuity of learning is paramount to their life, their productivity, their mental and physical health, as well as their academic success. We just had EQAO data out 2 weeks ago. I was on your show. Every parent at home knows this to be true. Their kids are falling behind. And so we have a plan to catch up. We've increased funding by $600 million. We've added 7,000 more education workers, CUPE-type workers specifically since we formed office. But none of that matters, Nick, if these kids are not in school. And so, yes, we will use the tools available to elected government to provide stability on Friday and every day thereafter. I do not want to see strikes down the road, which is why we've used that provision of the Constitution to provide maximum stability and just provide some kids with certainty that they're going to be in school with their friends every single day.
And yet, Minister Lecce, there doesn't seem to be certainty right now unless a deal is reached before Friday. CUPE members say they planned a province-wide strike on Friday, a political protest. They haven't answered whether or not that will continue on Monday or going forward. They kind of think that, you know, if they don't fight, the consequences are scary and that they'd rather deal with all that stuff later in court. So going forward, is this going to get really ugly because you're taking action, they're taking action? Where does the escalation end?
Yeah. Look, we're reacting to a union deciding to put the province on a 5-day footing to a province-wide strike. Frankly, I don't want to be here this morning in the legislature. I don't want to be, I didn't want to introduce legislation either. Our clear preference was a voluntary collective agreement that we all could live with. But the union said, no, we will proceed with the strike. And the government is saying enough is enough. The kids have paid a price. Their welfare must come first, which is why we're moving forward with legislation, regrettably as it is, but with the singular mission of keeping these kids in a positive, safe space. I think that is really important to their welfare and their long-term interests. And so I do hope over the coming days, cooler heads will prevail, that the union will continue to work with us in good faith. It's just sad that we're here because they had another way. They could have accepted a better deal, 10% over 4 years when we pay our education workers the highest in Canada, $27 an hour on average, with the best pension and benefits and 131 days of paid sick leave within 194 paid year of work. We offer our staff a good package. I recognize the challenge in the economy for all workers, but I also recognize that I'm not going to impose a nearly $19 billion increase to the taxpayer to pay for this, which is what the union has demanded. And so I just hope that the focus will be on kids' stability and that they will end this needless strike.
Okay, Minister Lecce, we're going to have to leave it there for now, but appreciate your time this morning, and we'll keep following this throughout the day. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.